Oh, I believe we are live. It's going so fast these days. Our computers are in good shape. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the DLLS Cowboys Podcast. We've got somebody in the coaching search sitting in the catbird seat. Do you know what that means? We'll talk about it.
Everybody does it.
Starting now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff went prehistoric on him. This was an accidental day where your boy found out that he's old. Because I put in the tweet to get people to join the show that Shotty was in the catbird seat. I thought nothing of it. And then Joe Hoyt asked me, what's a catbird seat? And I went, crap. I must be old.
I thought it might have been a typo.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club.
You've been hanging around.
Welcome to the club.
Pops.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
But I think catbird seat's fun to say. Say you're in the catbird seat. It's a position. It's a position of. It's an enviable position. The catbird seat.
Catbird seat.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought it might have been a typo, so I want to make sure.
No. It means you're in an
I'll be honest.
advantageous place. That's the catbird seat. Everybody in the chat is sad. There's no need to be sad.
Yes,
The Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl with whoever they hire, and we'll see who that's going to be. But yeah, right now it feels like we got a little
2025
in Madden 2025. Yes, but it seems like we got a little momentum going. Hello, my name is Jeff. Next to me is former Cowboys wide receiver Jesse Holley.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
Next to him is the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Clarence
You
Hill.
want to win? Put pop.
Next to him is the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Joe Hoyt.
Tell him something, Joe.
How we feeling? You know what? I don't like the energy of you people. And I don't like the energy of you people. Okay?
What
do you mean?
Flex leadership, Captain.
Yeah, we're
That too.
not going to get sad. Okay?
Who
About the
said?
state of things.
Who said?
We're going to laugh at them.
Well, that's gallows humor. Gallows humor. When you start laughing in despair,
Yeah.
something we did back in slavery, you just make
I'm
up
sorry?
humor.
Jeez.
You got to make up laughing in spite of the circumstances.
3 minutes
That's
in.
what the Cowboy fans are. They laughing in spite of horrible circumstances.
And they really are.
3
Because
minutes
I fired off an X. I don't know what they call them anymore. I fired off an X
And X.
that I think Shotty's going to be the head coach. And I would say most of the responses were, I'm done with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think that's true for pretty much anyone who said it, but this is the saddest I've ever seen my people.
And it hasn't even happened yet.
No.
And just a little bit of the latest of kind of what we're hearing. Yes, Brian Schottenheimer had an interview yesterday. Happened for about 3.5 hours. It was announced that he was going to interview that morning, so there was a quick turnaround there. From what I've heard, this is real. This potential momentum is real. That there's a lot of support inside the building for Schottenheimer, especially high up. The Joneses, we reported this last week, have high regard for Brian Schottenheimer. I talked to a couple players actually that said, hey, we think we'd love to have Shotty to have the job. We love the way that Shotty coaches. We love the energy he brings. I think there's no offer been presented yet, but as we've talked about, if an offer were to come to Brian Schottenheimer, he would take it, right?
Yeah. I would too. Yeah, for sure. Me and Shotty would both accept the head coaching job.
I told y'all a few weeks ago when they made the statement about, if the job was offered to Deion, I said, take Deion's name out of it. Take his name out.
Yeah.
Insert whoever has a breathing and movable and working heart that knows about football will accept the job from the Cowboys.
Mhm.
And they may have found the guy. And trust me, there are other guys who will want the job as well. It's not the coveted job that like Trey was talking about. But when you talk about winning a room and you look at the candidates that have come across the desk of Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, whoever had the interview, Leslie Frazier, Robert Saleh, Kellen Moore, and Brian Schottenheimer. The one guy who's probably talked the way that they've wanted him to talk and said the thing that they wanted to hear as far as how we're going to build this thing out. What is it going to look like? Sure, you can put your hand in my back and move me around anywhere that you want me to. I won't mind. You don't even have to use Vaseline. You can just go up in there just raw diggity, and I'll just move about however you want me to move and do things you want me to do on the football field. Will say that Schottenheimer was the guy who probably is saying all the right things that can win the room over for Jerry Jones.
Yeah, and it's puppet master. It's the ultimate puppet.
Yeah, puppet master.
And I would say that I haven't had a relationship and interviewed Robert Saleh like we have Shotty. I think Saleh could win a room if you know, based on his history and
but could he win a room that excites the Joneses?
Well, I agree, but again, that is
because that's the matter, right? That is the status that we have to get to.
That is the problem here, and the Cowboy fans should be depressed. They should be disillusioned. They should be disappointed because to me, it's about winning. It's not about relationships. It's not. It's not about familiarity.
What?
It should be about who is the best man for the job that can get this team back to winning, to break this Super Bowl curse or whatever it is it's been since 1995. Who is best equipped to do that? And the idea that you're picking Schottenheimer and pairing him with Jason Witten, this is not about winning. There was a report that said, well, he's interviewing for the head coaching job. He's also being considered for the offensive coordinator job. How's it twofold? What's this about? And it should be
case Deion's coming.
Again, Cowboy fans should be frustrated. You look at Schottenheimer's resume, yes, he can win a room, but there's nothing that stands out about where he's been, what he's done, that he should be the head coach of the Cowboys, the 10th head coach in Cowboys history, only because we like him. He didn't call plays. He had no input, no impact, no discernible decision-making on what the Cowboys did the past couple of years while I was here.
Yeah, and one thing I reported last week in terms of Schottenheimer's potential with the Cowboys to come back was, yes, head coach was a possibility, but so was offensive coordinator. And I think one thing is Brian Schottenheimer wants to call plays. He wants to be the play caller. He was not that the last 2 years. He wants to be able to call plays. So, yes, he was interviewed yesterday for a head coaching position. But I do think that that's still a possibility of maybe someone you could pair with as a defensive-minded coach like Robert Saleh. The one problem with that, we just saw what happened in Jacksonville. Liam Cohen, the favorite, Jacksonville thought he was going to take the job. He pulls out, right? So what does that do? They have two other guys getting 2 interviews. Robert Saleh is one of them. Robert Saleh all of a sudden has become potentially the front-runner candidate in Jacksonville. So if you kind of look at the Cowboys coaching search right now, you've interviewed only 4 people. You're running out of people because Kellen Moore is going to wait for a long time, likely, in Philadelphia.
Or get his ass whipped.
Potentially. You're going to wait there. Leslie Frazier, I just don't think is in consideration for the head coach job. That's my opinion on that. And all of a sudden, it's Brian Schottenheimer or wait for Kellen Moore. I don't know.
I think the Cowboys are very much similar to Jacksonville. Not that one man occupies both spots, but Jacksonville is having a hard time. I don't think most people want their head coaching job because they continue to pick a bad general manager over the coaching staffs. So if you go take that job, you know that they are united behind a GM they won't fire, and you're the one who's going to get fired if things don't go well, despite the fact that the GM sucks. So Jacksonville is Dallas. It's just 2 people instead of 1. Mm-hmm. It's a owner empowering a bad GM as opposed to an owner being a bad GM who's empowered. But yeah, they have the same struggle.
But the problem here is that, or difference here is that at least Jacksonville is going out and
they're trying
to get viable candidates. The Cowboys looking at outside of Kellen Moore and outside of Robert Saleh, no one else is considering.
Do you want to know why? I can break this news to you.
Break the news.
I'm telling you, listen, once you've done enough therapy sessions, you become qualified to do psychology on everyone else.
Is it like a black belt thing?
Yes. I have my purple. I've got my purple belt.
Yeah, there you
go. The reason you wouldn't interview somebody like Liam Cohen is what just happened to Jacksonville. Jacksonville just interviewed a guy to be their head coach, and afterwards he said, nah, I'd rather go back here and not even be a head coach. Jerry would feel like a dumbass. Jerry's ego is way too big to have people come in and then say no because in public he thinks he looks stupid or weak. And so you're not going to pursue the best ones because if you don't get them, then suddenly that says something about me and my gigantic ego. So the people who I will hire are the people who absolutely, positively will take this job if I offer it to them. It's embarrassing as a Cowboy fan, but that is Jerry. So that is Jerry's ego protection.
So it's
you
like
can't hurt me if I don't let you.
So I go to the bar and I don't shoot my shot at the 10. I lick her up to 5 and she's going to say yes.
And in his case, he probably sends someone else to do that for him.
So he just sends the drinks across the room to the 5.
With somebody who says also he has a lot of money. Jerry is not here to be told no. And that's why they're here in the first place, is because he did not realize that Mike McCarthy was going to tell him no.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Surely Mike don't have nowhere to go. I can string this out as long as I want because at the end of the day, Mike's going to accept what I give him because he's blessed to receive it. And now the guy that I think that they're going to hire, Brian Schottenheimer, is a guy that dude don't got head coach interviews.
No.
Has he had an OC interview?
Not now.
No,
like he's been unemployed at the house, and Jerry was like, "Hey, what about being a head coach for the first time at the age of 51?"
The idea that he's demanding, I need to call plays. Ain't nobody finna let you call plays.
But he's hiring.
Nobody's letting you call
and
plays.
I don't want it to be negative about Shoddy. Like you guys have interviewed with him, and he seems sweet.
He's
and
a great guy.
Coach. I have no idea. It's just that is the Cowboys' process. The Cowboys' process is we ain't paying the most. We are going to jam you up in every way possible. We are going to undermine you at every turn. So before we interview anybody, we're only going to interview people that we know that works for you. Because anybody else, like Ben Johnson didn't get a phone call from the Cowboys because they knew for a fact that he would walk in and it would be like, all right, step one, $15 million. And they'd be like, what about a third of that? And he'd be like, all right, I'm going to go home. Like they know you're being told no. So you interview people you have a chance with, based on what you're laying out there. Jerry's ego is at the root of every Cowboys problem. Every single one of them. And I think it's getting infinitely worse by the day. Like this is the most standoffish and angry he's gotten people about his F-ups ever. And so I think it's getting worse. And now they're going to hire a guy that other people aren't even interviewing for a coordinator position, and they're going to make him the head coach because it's convenient to fire him later to put their friend in that they love very much.
Yeah, because they can get out of the Dak Prescott deal eventually, down the road. And Dak Prescott is a huge proponent of Brian Schottenheimer, but as Babe Offenberg kind of tweeted, Dak is also a huge proponent of most people because he's a nice guy. Yeah. So there's the potential here where, hey, you can have Schottenheimer be the kind of the guy for 2 to 3 years. If it works out, great. You get that extension. Well, if you get to the NFC Championship for the first time in 30 years, we'll move you forward as the next head coach. But also the lingering fact that Jason Witten is probably going to be on this staff makes things interesting as a potential fallback plan.
It's the culture. We've talked so much about the culture. This does not change the culture. This is the problem with the culture. This is part of the culture. It's not about winning. It's not about doing whatever you can to get back to the Super Bowl since 1995. It's about relationships. It's about convenience. This will be the ultimate puppet master. This will be. If you thought Campo was a puppet, at least you could sell Campo. Back in the day because he was on Jimmy Johnson's Super Bowl staff. You could sell Wade, because he was coming in doing something different. You had a team there. He was a defensive guru.
I'll still take Wade.
There's nothing to sell here. There's nothing to say that this guy's going to make a change. And we know he's not giving any pushback to anything Jerry wants to do.
Well, and I think I think it's going to be a setup. And he'll know that going in. Like, you're getting to be a head coach, congratulations. You're getting a salary that's higher than your coordinator salary was, congratulations. Like, the Witten thing will be a setup. And I go back to what Stephen Jones said about this offseason and about how, we're still, we're really tied up against it and it's going to be really tough. They're going to be setting Shoddy up to fail on purpose. And then here comes Witten, our savior, when we say that we're ready to now spend money and do all of these things. Like, I think it's going to be, if Brian Schottenheimer is your head coach, if he gets the job, it's a very intentional setup. It's just a matter of, is it 1 year or two? And they're going to plan to not be good next year. They're going to plan it. Unless Dak Prescott comes back and plays all pro level superhero football, they're going to do another offseason like they did. not to the same extent because they do have to find NFL starters.
That Dak hip, bro. Trying to get the hip down.
Yeah, but it looks
that
like
was
the-
looking
it looks like
real.
the dance.
No, I'm trying to
real.
get that Dak hip dance.
That was looking
It'd be
real.
superhuman. He got to get that flexibility back.
Not very good.
That was a lot of
I
upper
know
body.
because I was trying to. I'm sorry. My
Not very
bad.
good. All right, everybody, please hit the like button if you're here. Make sure you're subscribed to the DLLS YouTube page and DLLS Sports. And know that you can get this later in whatever audio form you so choose by just going wherever you get your podcasts. How about that? Kat, are we doing next? Okay, our friend Eric Galco from the East West Shrine Bowl is going to join us next, and then we'll continue talking Cowboys coaching search and if this dude gets the job, what is he all about? All of those things are next on the DLLS Cowboys Podcast.
My good friends over at iceshaker.com. It's a game changer. If you're into the workout, if you're into getting things, getting back fit, 2025 is the year that you do it, and you can't do it without Ice Shaker. This is the product made by the Gronkowski brothers. That's Chris and that's Gronk. So you know it's going to be absolutely durable, but you put your good protein in there, has a little thing at the top right here so you don't get clumped up. You put that thing on there and you shake it all about. You can get it in any logo you want. Maybe it's football. Maybe it's basketball. Maybe it's the NHL. Maybe it's the MLB. In fact, you don't have to do any of them. If you head over to their website and go to the custom shop, you can add your own logo to your bottle. And the turnaround time, phenomenal. You can go on, order it, put your own logo in it, and it gets to you in about 3 to 5 days. So head over to iceshakers.com. Use the promo code ALLCITY25 to get 25% off your order. Head over there right now. Get you one of these and get right.
See, it's hard. Finishing out whatever your last words are going to be is tough.
Yeah.
And then do it.
Yeah.
Game time. You go up in octaves or you say something shocking. Shout out to our friends at Game Time. It's the best app out there for buying tickets, especially if you're doing something last minute. You could be walking up to the dang arena and pop on Game Time and get you some last minute tickets. Download the Game Time app today, and if you use our code DLLS as a new person on Game Time, you create that account, use the code DLLS, you'll get $20 off of your first purchase. So download the Game Time app. You can toggle in the all-in pricing on there. You can do the panoramic seat view and see what it looks like from where you're going to be sitting. The all-in pricing is great because you don't get to the end and go, I thought it was going to be. Game Time's got you squared away. We're not here to play with you. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code DLLS. That'll get you $20 off your first purchase. Game Time. What time is it? Game Time.
You
Time
said it
you
right.
did-
You
you
didn't do it right.
did
You didn't do
it
it right.
Because you don't
You didn't
think
do it
about
right. You didn't do it right.
stick the landing. We're still not on TV yet, right? We're still not on TV yet.
Jesse Reed.
So it's not awkward for people yet. Because Game Time, I didn't think about it. You got to really plan to end it at 1:58 in the break, not 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So and that's why at the end I was like, oh, wait, I took it to 1:59 because I did stick the landing, but I forgot we like to do, though, what time is it Game Time? Ooh, and now it's going to be late, so I got to do it quick. Is Eric here? Let's talk to my friend Eric Galco from the East West Shrine Bowl, one of the finest talent evaluators in all the land, is how I'll always know you. You can prefer to be known for your affiliation with this game if you so choose, but I believe that you're just the finest scout that ever existed. Hi, Eric. How are you?
I'm doing great. We are 8 days away from our game time at the Shrine Bowl here in Dallas.
Hell yes. And if you go, let me make sure I've got our code right, but if you go to shrinebowl.com and you use our promo code, DLLS, what you'll get is when you buy 2 or more tickets, you get 50% off. That's called BOGO, baby. So how excited are you? Are you here? Are you fired up? Yeah, that looks like a hotel
I'm here.
room.
I'm in my hotel room here in Frisco, Texas, where our practices are nearby and our players arrive tomorrow. So we've got guys like Deion Sanders, Kenneth Grant, a couple other guys going to be here tomorrow and start our week of practice on Saturday.
Oh, I'm gonna come out there because Kenneth Grant is a defensive tackle out of Michigan, and the Cowboys can't stop the run. And Kenneth Grant is absolutely a top 50, maybe top 25 pick that could help us stop the run. Do not want to draft Michigan people just because they went to Michigan. Mozzie and Taco are no one else's fault. Grant is a stud.
You can add Scooney.
Oh, Scoon, don't forget. Listen, Kenneth Grant's a stud,
Okay.
and you should go to the Shrine game just to see Kenneth Grant because he's
Enjoy
a mammoth
Moose
of a
with them in
man,
Michigan.
and he can save the Cowboys, and so that is really, really exciting. There's scouts for every team out there, I would imagine, huh?
Yeah, we'll have, I think we're currently at 23 NFL GMs and probably more coming as well, too. Not a couple got hired. So it should be 700 scouts or so and 500 plus media. So it'll be a full house for us all week long here at the Shrine Bowl. And guys like Kenneth Grant and Shadur and linebackers like Chris Paul at Ole Miss are some of the guys. Siobhan Ravel at ECU will be interviewing only here. A couple great players that are possible first-round picks this year that are going to be kind of our headliners.
If you can, and I don't want to go too behind the scenes, but just give the fans and the people kind of a rundown of how practices and things will go throughout the week, and what they'll be able to see. What if the practices are opening, are there opportunities to meet players and things like that throughout the week? Just give us a rundown on how all those things are going.
Yeah, no doubt. Our practices start on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. All of our practices are going to be broadcasted live on Lights Out Sports, which is Sean Merriman's broadcast company. So go to lightsoutsports.com. It's available on all Roku, Apple, Google, all the places you can get apps. They'll be live every morning, 8 a.m. till noon. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday before the playoff games that weekend. And then, of course, Monday, Tuesday as well. We'll also be having plenty of content here at the hotel. Our media access is second to none. So hopefully you guys can come by the hotel and talk with guys like Kenneth Grant and Shadur and Chris Paul and talk to them in person a little bit. Be awesome as well, too. But there'll be plenty of content all week long for practices, and then certainly game day, Thursday Night Football and NFL Network is going to be the final crescendo of our event.
Outside of Grant and Sanders, can you give us some names of some underrated prospects that could surprise this week or become names after this week of practice?
Yeah, I think, one name aside from Shadur, obviously he's the premier quarterback, but Kyle McCord of Syracuse. I don't know how early in the draft he's going to go, and I mean that in a positive way. I know NFL teams are more and more bullish than the media is, but, I don't see much difference between him and a lot of what Bo Nix did in college and how his kind of rise in the draft process happened even a year ago. Jaden Blue of Texas, a running back, one of the best third-down running backs in this year's draft class. He'll be here as well. I think he's going to really ascend. We know how much NFL teams value those kind of guys. Rondé Gaston Jr., obviously his dad played in the NFL a long time, but he's a kind of a playmaking tight end receiver. A lot of Mike Gesicki and what he'll do for NFL teams. Dante Thornton, a receiver at Tennessee, who's 6'3", 220 and runs a 4.3, 4.4. So I think a lot of really impressive offensive skill guys and defensive backs we have this year that I think if you don't know them now, they're going to end up being first, second, third round picks when this draft process is all done.
Shrinebowl.com, promo code DLLS. If you buy 2 or more tickets, you get 50% off. Shrinebowl.com. Do it. Eric Galko, thank you. We appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. There goes Eric. And now we are onward to the Cowboys, where they need to just go. They need lots. They should go to the Shrine Bowl and make sure that they look at all the players because we need about 30 of them. And that's
well, good
right
news
there.
is they don't have to go far.
Right there.
Yeah.
Go peek out the window.
Yeah, that is the good news.
Well, they would have to actually be in the building.
The scouts are in the building.
Oh, that's right.
It's not no coach.
No,
Scouts are there.
Could I share some coaching? Not breaking news. Can I share some coaching thing though that I thought was interesting?
Yeah.
Why do you always act as if we're going to be like, nah, Joe, you can't share it on this show
I'm
that
go
you're
ahead
a
and
part
do it.
of and that you're
I'm gonna
supposed
go
to
ahead
be
and do
sharing
it.
information on. Like sometimes you don't have to be so polite to be like,
I
hey,
can say no.
I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Rick Stroud from Tampa Bay Times reported that Liam Cohen's deal to be a coordinator, mind you, in Tampa Bay, is going to be similar to Vic Fangio, who reportedly earns $4.5 million per year. So in terms of
Cowboy head coach money,
I was going to say in
Mike McCarthy
terms
money.
in terms of potentially getting, hey, why didn't you go after Ben Johnson? Why don't you go after Aaron Glenn? Why don't you go after Liam Cohen? Probably out of your price range.
Yeah, Jerry's
Out of your selected price
So
range.
the question here is, if Shotty's the head coach, does he make more than Liam Cohen?
No,
I don't.
he doesn't make more than $4 million?
Mike McCarthy made 4.5.
I would guess no. That's just a guess. I don't know. He might.
I'm also really fascinated to see what the
McCarthy
length would be
Yeah,
on
but
Schottenheimer's
that was
deal.
Mike McCarthy deal
But-
5 years ago.
But Mike McCarthy had a Super Bowl champion on his resume. What does Shotty have?
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Cowboys play a leverage game. They're going to get him for as cheap as they can. It'll be a raise from his OC job, and it won't be much for a head coach. Would be my
No,
guess.
y'all can't do it. Y'all can't do that, man. Like that man got a family.
Why do you think Mike's not here?
He got a
Because
family.
Mike,
Because they
like,
disrespected him.
yeah, but you can't. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't. You're
You can't?
already. You can. You can do whatever
Jerry
you want.
can.
You do whatever you
And
want.
will.
Witten will take the head job if you don't want it.
Just give it to Witten.
We'll fast forward this thing.
We're never gonna get right, man. It just.
We
Never
will
gonna
one-
get right. You're
we'll
right.
get right
it's,
one
it's,
day.
it's the process. It's a rotten process.
Yeah, and the problem is, I mean, Google pretty much anything. Second generation business owner, probably not as good at it as the first. And so that could be a problem as well.
Interesting.
But I mean, that's just, their process is gross. We talked about how just comparing it to all of the other teams in the league, you can go check a interview tracker. Like, I'll give one to you. Here is the Chicago Bears who got Ben Johnson. They got Ben Johnson as their head coach after they interviewed the Dolphins defensive coordinator, the Cardinals offensive coordinator, Mike Vrabel, the Giants offensive coordinator, Pete Carroll, Aaron Glenn, Ron Rivera, Mike McCarthy, Arthur Smith, David Shaw, Brian Flores. They did get an Eddie George in there.
Yeah.
Joe Brady. They
14.
They interviewed. Well, and I left off 2 because I didn't know their names.
16.
New England was Dallas-ish, except at least in New England's case, they were hiring a guy that was coveted by other teams. So, like, they did the sham thing. Pep Hamilton, Byron Leftwich. Although they did interview Ben Johnson, allegedly. Yeah. And they never got around to Aaron Glenn because they were like, no, we know who we're hiring. So
Aaron Glenn declined him.
He turned him down.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sorry. He turned them down.
Yes.
But he probably already knew that.
Okay.
He knew he wasn't going to be a sham interview.
Okay. Jacksonville interviewed Steve Spagnuolo, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, Liam Cohen, Robert Saleh, Joe Brady, Kellen Moore, Brian Flores. Like, those are teams that are looking for a head coach. And if they can get the guy that they think is the best, they're going to pay what it takes to get the best. You know the Cowboys list? There's 4 dudes on it.
That Jacksonville list is they're trying.
Right. What are the Raiders doing?
Raiders, Ben Johnson, Vance Joseph, Robert Saleh, Aaron Glenn, Ron Rivera, Pete Carroll. And they've still got Todd Monken and Steve Spagnuolo scheduled. They're
Pete Carroll's
interviewing the
gonna be that
people
coach.
other people want. Everybody is interested in the same people, the best and the brightest. The Cowboys are interested in who will accept our tiny check that you have no other option. And Kellen does have other interviews.
Yeah.
But they know damn well that he's not going to get another job. He would take theirs.
Mm-hmm.
They could pay him what they want, and he would be their little friend. They like him.
Does Kellen have any leverage? Because, I mean, right now his team is in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. His team is in the NFC Championship
I did the same
game.
thing.
He does have other head coaching opportunities. At least interviews other places. He has some leverage going into talking to the Cowboys.
He has more leverage than Schottenheimer, who currently doesn't have a job. I mean, like,
And he can always say, you know what? I can just go back to Philadelphia and just beat up on you again next year.
I think it'll be interesting if
better be interesting.
if the Eagles, in fact, do get to the Super Bowl and the Cowboys have not made a hire yet. You know, how can you turn down Kellen Moore, who's now a Super Bowl offensive coordinator, over for Brian Schottenheimer? How can you pick someone if Kellen Moore is one of your top 2 and your final 2?
You want the answer?
Oh, I'm talking hypothetically.
Schottenheimer's more desperate. He'd be cheaper.
Again,
He'd be easier to fire for Witten.
you can at least try to sell Kellen Moore, even though he doesn't win the room. You can sell that this guy is a Super Bowl offensive coordinator. You can't sell Schottenheimer to nobody other than the Joneses.
There is one sales pitch, and I'm not saying it's a good one.
His daddy was a good coach?
Well, that's 2. You can say his dad was a coach. Also, you can say that he wasn't allowed to call plays this year. And you can say, hey, the offense took a step back in 2024 instead of taking a step forward under Mike McCarthy. How much of Schottenheimer's influence was actually heard as an offensive coordinator? I'm just saying the pitch. You could pitch this.
I like your
I'm not saying that it would work out well for the fan base, but that's what I think the pitch would be.
You're doing a fine job carrying the water, Joe.
No one was allowing him to call plays before he came to Dallas, and outside here, no one's going to allow him to call plays next year.
Ronnie's in the super chat is Arch eligible next year. Maybe we tank for him. You could.
You could.
It could be
Arch
tank
just
season.
stand 2 years of Texas, guys.
You don't know what he's going to do.
I know
You don't know what he's going to do.
Listen.
If he's going to be the number 1 overall pick, he ain't staying there for his little $5 or $6 million. He's taking his number 1 pick money.
Listen, let's have common sense. The Manning family are deliberate about the process of developing a quarterback. We've all talked certainly with
that was in 1948.
No. We talked about the Cowboys San Francisco quarterback does not have enough passes. You need to have passes. You need to have snaps in the college game.
That's for guys who aren't good.
He's not 1 year as a starter. He's staying 2 years. Come on.
You don't know that.
Super
I
chat.
know that.
That's a homer.
Super chat
That's a
from
hook 'em
GM Ben right
homer.
there. Jeff as head coach, Jesse as OC, Joe as DC.
Joe as Rowdy.
I'd take the head coach.
Where's my gun? Where's my gun? Boom, 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 boom.
Look,
I would take the head coach job, but y'all better know what you're doing as coordinators because I don't.
I'm
I
good.
don't have a plan.
Nothing against you. I don't want the job. Because
Uh-oh.
y'all not going to sit up here and talk bad about me each and every week trying to call an offense.
You want to be the
thank
head
you.
coach?
No, you got you wear the skinny jeans.
No, I will wear
We got our
skinny jeans
ankles
and
out.
My ankles will be
Your
out.
ankles be out.
My ankles will be out, baby.
Okay, so what we could do is we could hire a shadow everything. You know,
Oh.
we could say, hey, we're doing it. We ain't doing nothing. We just have to.
All blitz, 8-man engage every time.
Let's take a look at Brian Schottenheimer's career. And this is not a setup to just tee off on the dude, but what do we know about what he is about? What might he do with the Dallas Cowboys philosophically? All of these things. We'll do it next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast.
Pop, pop, pew, pew.
Chill is right.
If you're looking for a great new addition to your man cave, to your film room, you're looking forward to your dorm room, whatever it is, you want to head over to Saturday Neon. I know you're probably saying to yourself, Jess, what is Saturday Neon? Saturday Neon was started by two college buddies. They make officially licensed collegiate logo signs, the neon signs. It's affordable. They're only $75.
That's what I picture them making, but they don't make that sound.
I don't think it makes that sound.
They're better now.
The LED lights last up to 100,000 hours. That's probably like 12 years or something like that.
I don't know.
Give or take.
I don't
That's
know.
probably 12 years. It's low voltage. It's perfect for any gift for anybody of any age. A lot of colleges, over 50 universities that you can choose from. The University of North Carolina will be in there. Texas will be in there. Oregon will be in there. Abilene Christian, I don't know. But head over to Saturday Neon right now.
About 11 and a half years, looks like.
11 and a half years.
Yeah.
I was close. Get 10% off your order using our promo code. What's that? Oh, DLLS. That's what the promo code was.
It's also our promo code for the East West Shrine Bowl. Go to shrinebowl.com. If you buy 2 or more tickets, use the promo code DLLS. You get 50% off. I was excited to talk to Eric Galco just a bit ago. Kenneth Grant is a stud out of Michigan. Siobhan Ravel won't be playing in the game. He's an East Carolina corner who's probably going to be a first-round pick. Got a banged-up knee, but he'll be out there. Shadur's going to be out there. They got some ballers. Check it out, shrinebowl.com. It's going to be at AT&T Stadium on January 30th. We are just 8 days away. Lots of NFL careers, including Hall of Fame ones, have been launched at the East West Shrine Bowl, and it is local. So if you love you some football, go watch it. College football all-star game, guys that are getting ready to be drafted into the NFL. It's the East West Shrine Bowl, and it's lovely. So tickets start at just $20. Use the code DLLS when you buy 2 or more, and you'll get 50% off. Shrinebowl.com to buy your tickets today.
A little bit of breaking news regarding Brian Schottenheimer. He's getting a second interview
Today.
You've just
Today.
interviewed.
Today.
No, he's getting a second interview today. So
Did 2 interviews.
You
Cowboys
just
not
interviewed.
they're not just doing one.
What Usher said, that thing got go good to me. I had to double back twice.
Huh?
The Cowboys are doubling back twice on Marty Schottenheimer.
I told you what?
You said Marty.
Oh, shoot, Brian.
Bring Marty in. Is he alive?
No, I don't think
He's
Marty's
not.
alive.
Marty's not alive.
Oh, God rest his soul.
Marty Ball.
I mean, you don't have to take it as a report because I'm not a journalist, but I'm telling you that Brian Schottenheimer's getting the job. But I'm not a journalist, so that is not a report. It's just a guy saying some stuff.
source told me this morning momentum was building.
Woo! See, and that's a journalist.
Momentum is building.
Yeah.
So what's his resume?
He's been a bunch of places as a QB coach and then as an OC, and I got to be honest, the more and more I go back and look at the teams that he coached, I think there'll be some Cowboy fans that might like this. I hate it in the year of our Lord 2025 in football, but I go back to his first extended stint as a QB coach was, shockingly, for his father, and that was with the Chargers. Drew Brees is a Pro Football Hall of Famer, one of the finest quarterbacks to ever play this game. With the Chargers, he was okay, but they didn't sling it around like he got to do when he was a member of the Saints. Now, in those days, they were just hammering the ball with LaDainian Tomlinson and playing defense. And if you follow his career path along to when he was with the Jets, it was Mark Sanchez handing the ball off over and over and playing defense. And if you go to when he was the offensive coordinator for Pete Carroll in Seattle, it was when the phrase "let Russ cook" was born.
Yep.
Because they just kept handing the ball off for 3 yards a carry. And Pete Carroll, I thought, was the worst head coach in football. I assumed it came from him, but who knows? And I don't know. I'm sure there are people that exist in the world of running game and defense wins things. And I want to be good at those things. But you're not going to find a team with a decent quarterback or without a freaking stacked roster that's going to be awesome at football. That's just like, yeah, we're going to run and play defense. And so I don't know, because as a coordinator, you are influenced by your head coach. I do believe Pete Carroll was a big fan of, look, we're going to run the ball over and over and over and over and over, even though we have a good quarterback. And maybe Dak's broken. Maybe this is what we need. Draft Ashton Genty at 12 overall, hand it to him 100 times, let Micah and them do the rest, tell Dak not to turn the ball over. Maybe it'll be incredible if Schotty's the coach. But that's kind of his history, is these teams, we will run the ball and we will play defense and we will try not to make mistakes.
If the Cowboys do hire Brian Schottenheimer, I think that Genty pick is in serious play because for the very reason you just said.
Yeah.
Well, and also it now gives another storyline to reel people back in. Because if you hire Schottenheimer, you have to sell this. And you have a fan base. I know I'll go off my timeline and the people that I've talked to and the people that I've interacted with. This is not a happy fan base right now.
No.
This hire will not give this fan base nothing about the thing you just named off of where he's been and what he's done has made this fan base exciting. They were already on the brink of jumping off the ledge last year, right? Then the season happened. Things didn't go so well. That pushed them more towards it. You fired the coach, and then there was a little bit of hope that came back because they thought maybe that, okay, he fired Mike McCarthy. Some wanted him, some didn't want him. Now he can go out and get a guy that will bring us all back the hope that we wanted. Maybe go get the Ben Johnson, or maybe go get the Bill Belichick or the Vrabel, or whoever it is that you would give you some excitement. And then you start hearing the names and you start hearing the interviews. And today where Joe just broke to us that Schotty's going into his second interview. As this week has already progressed, you've heard over and over and over from the timelines. People are in our chat saying this all show long. I'm out. If this is going to be our head coach, I'm out. And now you already have a fan base that had apathy have set in. They were looking to fill out new applications for other teams. Where could I go? I had a dad on my timeline last night, and he's like, man, my dad handed down this team to me. He goes, he said, but damn it, I'm not handing this thing to my kids. I'll let them choose on their own, but I'm not forcing the Cowboys on my kids.
Breaking the cycle.
I'm breaking generational curses by not giving the Cowboys to my children. It's going to be very difficult for the Cowboys to sell this season, but a pick like Ashton Genty gives you that story. Mm-hmm. It gives you that kind of that running line of maybe this could be the next
LT,
or whatever it is.
Saquon,
Jerry will eat it up.
I don't know if the fans are buying any story that he will be trying to package and sell them this offseason.
Can I ask you about the apathy of fans right now? And I'm asking to set up the question. Kellen Moore, a lot of people kind of theorize like, well, okay, maybe they're putting Brian Schottenheimer into the ether to make Kellen Moore look better. My question, and just honestly, is how much better is Kellen Moore as a candidate than Brian Schottenheimer?
People want him to be their offensive coordinator. No one wants Brian Schottenheimer to call plays.
That at least helps his process. Like the fact that Kellen Moore is multi-year interviewed by teams as a head coach candidate lets you know that, oh, okay, other people agree.
Yeah.
And in the case of Schottenheimer, has he ever?
He has.
He's
had head coaching interviews.
Okay.
It was back when he was with the Jets, though, not since when he was with the Jets years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
it's been a minute.
I think Jerry would eat it up because not that Schottenheimer would get him excited. I think ultimately what would get the Cowboys excited. This would be a great rug pull if this was all a setup to bring your hopes down with both those candidates and then be like, ha, here's Deion. But
you holding on to that hope.
I am.
You holding on.
I am.
I hold on to hope of Mike McCarthy coming back.
I want the circus. Mike McCarthy's not dead yet. Okay. All Jerry wants is a desperate candidate. When Mike doesn't get a job, he becomes desperate. He can be back. He'll come back as the OC for Schottenheimer. I mean, I think what's ultimately going on is that the Jones family worships at the altar of Jason Witten. He is their picture of American man. Like, that is all that we love is Witten. And so we're just doing a long play for him to be the head coach. But I do think the Schottenheimer history sells well to Jerry, because I believe behind the scenes, all Jerry wants is Zeke to always have the ball. Even today, like, just give it to Zeke.
So you're bringing Zeke back?
Like, Emmett was the best. Like, Schottenheimer being a run-first guy and maybe using a first-round pick on a running back, I think that's an easy sell to Jerry. That's what he believes football is. I think it's an easy sell. And I think Steven is a big fan of Schottenheimer.
Yes.
And so I think it works for them. And this is not about you or us or wins or Super Bowls. This is about their comfort level while trying to be relevant and win. They're trying to win their way, which is not risking their money. It is not risking future irrelevance. It is doing it in the way that we are comfortable, so we can tell you we were right and the rest of the world is dumbasses.
But how close are they to trying to do it their way, but pushing their team into the space that they don't want to push their team to?
I don't think. I mean, if Dak's washed, you could get bad. The Cowboys are very careful to never be bad. Other teams will be bad on purpose to get good.
And this is not. I'm not trying to be petty, but like, you've been around here the longest.
Yes.
Right. Like, you're from here, right?
Right.
And you've watched this team since you were a little boy. I've gotten here in 2009. I didn't follow the Cowboys as a kid in Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I had other, whatever.
I started covering them last year.
This is the worst I've seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, by a mile.
In the sense of fans. Like, I played here. I've been a part of the media for over 10 years covering this football team. And I have not seen across the board so many people that have come to the conclusion of, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm out. I can't do this any longer. I stayed after the show yesterday and had a conversation with Kevin Gray and with Bobby and with Ben. And you heard their fandom, but you heard the cries through their conversation about where they're at now as fans of this football team. I don't think I've ever seen it as bad as it is now. And they're teetering in some dangerous territory with the fact that people aren't going to, when I say people, not just the fans, companies are not going to buy this product. This is not going to be a good product that you put out there.
I can't believe it hadn't happened yet. And so I don't know what it takes for it to happen.
That's my
like last year, they were still their playoff game against the same opponent. Who did the Eagles play in the first round? Like, their playoff, the Cowboys, when they got run by the Packers, had 5 million more viewers than the Eagles playing the Packers this year. Somehow it still plays. And to your point, this is the worst I've ever seen it in terms of apathy from a fan base. The numbers are still there.
Yeah.
That cliff has to be somewhere.
Yeah, but
it has to be.
This is a national. I mean, it's old adage. People like to see the Cowboys lose. As much as you talk about the Cowboy fans apathetic, opposing teams fans are excited. They want to say they're tuning in to watch the Cowboys train wreck.
Even to that point. So I have one of my best friends. His name is Wes. Hey, Wes, if you're watching. He's a giant Eagles fan. He's from the Northeast. And it's always our group of friends. There's diehard Cowboy fans, and then he loves the Eagles.
Right.
And it's always talking and talking and talking. And even this year, he was like, it's not like, I don't say anything to y'all. He's like, because it's just depressing. Yeah. Like, obnoxious Eagle fan is abstaining because he's like, talk about what? Like, it's not like it's a rivalry. Y'all are terrible.
I agree, but just like Saturday when Washington got to the Super Bowl, your Twitter timeline was filled with the Cowboys, the last team.
Game.
I mean, it's championship game.
Yeah.
The Cowboys, I mean, everybody is still feeding that beast of the Cowboys' despair. And just quickly on Witten, I feel bad for Witten. He wants to be head coach.
Oh, yeah, he's being set up too.
But this is just a bad situation. It's like when he went to Monday Night Football when he wasn't ready.
Right.
You know, and people anointing him. The idea that Jerry's are anointing you. You're a guy whose whole life has been about getting it out the dirt, or getting out the mud, and coming from where you came from and doing it the hard way. This is not the hard way.
Yeah.
This is not the way you want to ascend to a head coaching job. You want to be more like Aaron Glenn, who went and learned and went up the ladder the right way. This is not how you want to do it.
But what do you do? Say no?
No, you don't say no.
Right.
But
It just
again,
sucks.
but it's part of the whole process.
Right.
Why would you feed into the process? If you're Jason Witten and you think you're the coach you want to be, you could go somewhere else and get a head coaching job. Or you can go somewhere else and get on someone's staff. 32 teams will put you on their staff and let you learn, let you grow. You don't have to take this.
I will say, not a lot of prominent players, especially players to specific franchises, though, like have to do the dirty work and go through low things. And honestly, you can argue that Jason Witten did the dirty work. He wouldn't coach high schools.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he would coach his sons. That's not the dirty work in the NFL.
Yeah, still, but he became a head coach.
Yes, he was given a head coaching job. He didn't have to learn how to be a coach.
Yeah, he was also interviewed, by the way, for a head coaching job at Tennessee already. So, I mean, he's had that kind of interest.
He
Obviously,
might be a good head coach.
No, he might be. But being interviewed as a Tennessee head coach right after your playing career tells me you're skipping steps. That's part of the problem.
But a lot of players skip steps.
No.
I think so. Deion coached at high schools for a little bit, then he went to Jackson State and then Colorado.
No. Deion coached Little League football from 2-year-olds all the way up before.
And then he built a fake school, and then he was a college head coach.
Okay, but I watched Deion. Deion was out there in
taking shots.
Deion was out there in the summer with little kids doing prime prep. It's not the same. Don't even compare Deion's journey to what Witt's doing.
Okay.
Not even the same.
Yeah. Prime did a much better job of growing it. We have super chats. Let me knock them out real quick. Vance, do you think Schotty brings a tape labeled Russell Wilson Broncos with him for the interview? Yeah, maybe he's like, look, the answer was not to let Russ cook. Letting Russ cook was a bad idea. Nesto, 30 years show they can't win their way. Nut up and realize that. I was born in 96. I want to start winning. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry, Nesto. Ardell, It's a country club at the Star, multiple asthma fields and whatnot. Meow. Make it stop. We can't. Coming up next, Michael Irvin speaks for all fans. We'll hear what he's thinking about what might happen here. Plus, we got a mock draft roundup, all the things you need on your Cowboys day. Please hit the like and subscribe button. It's all next on the DLLS Cowboys Podcast. Hey, Ben. Hey, Bobby. Is the Mavs thing sold out or no? All right, cool. Hey, sign up to be a diehard. We want you to do that at alldlls.com. And we also want you to check out the events page. Huh? You don't have to be a diehard to go, but you get a discount if you're a diehard. So if you are signed up to be a diehard and you're interested in our watch party at Cosm, which is a badass place to watch sports.
Yes, sir.
So sick.
Go check out the Mavericks against Celtics, February 6th, 6 o'clock. And Cosm's awesome. And if you go to alldlls.com/events, you can get to that page and you can get tickets. They are very limited because Cosm's badass. And to get in the area where we're going to be doing that is not a bunch of seating. So go to alldlls.com and you'll have a promo code there if you're a diehard that'll get you 20% off, get you all hooked up. Because when you're a diehard, you get 20% off events. When you're a diehard, you get a free t-shirt. Like Joe's got a t-shirt on today. He's rocking a DLLS shirt. It's a good one. You get 20% off merch. You get ad-free experience on our website, access to all of our diehard content on the website, which with draft season approaching, there's going to be so much good stuff, plus all of the inside scoops from Joe and Clarence and everybody who at every sport. We get you all squared away. So sign up to be a diehard. Do it, alldlls.com or else. Not a threat.
I think I might have to bring our boss on because, I'm a firm believer of public shaming.
Okay. About the card?
Yeah.
I haven't gotten a diehard
I think
card.
if we bring him on and we public shame him and show everybody the face of the guy who has not gotten us.
You think he has like a drawer full though?
I don't know.
Is he holding out on us?
I don't know. But I just feel like he has the number to somebody.
To get us a diehard card?
It's a diehard card.
A carrying card?
You know what I mean? Like,
I sure would like to have one. I sure would. Can we play Michael Irvin just to have his sadness? Do we have? Oh, Jesse, you put that in the Slack, right? Nope. Okay. Nope. Okay. Nope.
I don't know where it came from though. I put it in the Slack. Where did it come from?
Oh, it was on Fox Sports.
Fox Sports.
Oh, Fox Sports.
Yeah, he was on Fox Sports.
Yeah.
We don't have to play it though. You can just tell us what he said. It was just more Cowboy sadness.
I don't even remember what he said.
I'll listen to it. Yeah, basically Michael Irvin was talking about how his morale is low, frankly, and that the Cowboys fan base is the lowest morale he's ever seen.
Right. He said you had to get a coach. You need a coach for on the field and off the field. You need a coach for on the field, but you also need a coach for off the field because the morale is low. And you need a coach to to excite the fan base and pick up the morale.
Oh, man.
He said the players are low
That's not about
and
to
the
happen.
fan base is low. And he said the Schottenheimer does not do that.
Yeah.
I did get a text from a player, probably number 4. He'll be ready for the next step. He has the right personality and brand.
Who, Shotty?
Yeah.
And you said that's from a player.
A player.
I said probably number 4.
Probably number 4.
Probably number 4.
I thought Babe Laufenberg had a great comment. Okay, so Dak endorses Shotty. Get ready. Brian Schottenheimer is going to be your head coach. Dak endorses that. I thought Babe Laufenberg had a great point on the single X, whatever, where it was just like, we should probably stop saying like Dak likes this guy or Dak thinks. He's like, there's not a single person on planet Earth publicly that Dak is going to not like. Like, I don't know if we need to factor in Dak, but that's a text saying it. But I mean,
no doubt.
What else?
And I've said that from the beginning. Dak liked Linehan. Linehan elevated him. Okay, Dak liked Wade Wilson. Wade Wilson was one who was part of the draft process. Dak liked Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
Of course, Dak loved Kellen Moore, and Dak loves Mike McCarthy. And of course, yes, Dak likes Schottenheimer.
Dak lost a lot of love, man.
No, but those people were integral to his development.
That's the problem.
Dak is love.
That is the problem. The Cowboys are focused on too much of, do the guys like them?
Yeah.
Well, and it's really, honestly, I think it's too much. Do Jerry and Stephen Jones like him?
Like we need a coach that guys fear. I told you I was talking to Nate Newton, and there needs to be a level of fear, healthy fear, that this guy is coming in. We're not going to be buddy, right? Like, you know how your parents tell you, like, I'm not your little friend?
Yeah.
I'm not your little friend.
Oh,
we could be cool.
Mine
we can
are
have a
my
good
friends.
time.
That's why I had discipline issues coming.
Yeah, like, well, I'm not your little friend. I need you to know that we could kiki and ha every now and again, but there is a fine line between who I am and who you are. There is a fine line of you know the old saying, do as I tell you to do.
Yeah.
Like that needs to be what it is. This is not a negotiation when I ask you to do something as your head coach. I'm not willing to negotiate with y'all. Now, when you bring me what I need, then I'm willing to acquiesce and give you some of the things that you want. But the winning comes first. And I'm not saying this about Dak specifically, because I do believe he is a very hard worker. He's not the guy that's, last one there, first one gone.
Might be the hardest worker.
Right?
Yeah.
But
yeah, he's hurt himself doing more than he needs to
Stop.
in rehab.
Don't do that today.
He has.
Don't
Twice.
do that.
Need to work hard on sprinting.
Yeah, he does.
But there needs to be a universal fear of the guy who is calling the shots at head coach. And I know that there may be something between the ownership and those players, but there needs to be a guy in there that's going to really hold these guys' feet to the fire. All of them, because no one has.
There is no fire.
Nobody has any room as a player on this football team to talk about what they aren't going to do. You ain't won nothing. You've not won a damn thing in almost 30 years. And these current guys, yes, you are paying some of the back taxes from the guys who come before you. But currently in the position that you sit, the taxes that you owe show that you ain't done a damn thing either. Right. So there isn't room for anyone to show up and be like, well, I wish, I demand, No, there needs to be a line drawn in the sand. Those of you who will do it this way and this way only will be here. Those of you who have other ways of how this thing may work out, the door's that way. Mm-hmm. We're doing too much of this likey, happy, joy type situation, and you getting your butts kicked on Sundays.
That's what Jason Witten's going to bring. Jason Witten's going to bring accountability.
Are you fighting off a rant? Because someone said you're fighting off a rant and your mannerism shows it.
No. I'm just twitching. I'm just a twitchy guy. We got at least one super chat, right? No, I don't have a rant ready. I mean, every show we do for the last few weeks has basically been a long form rant, hasn't it? Jones are a bottom 3 owner in the NFL. They suck. I could rant about that. The Joneses are not a bottom 3 owner in the NFL. Jerry Jones is the number 1 owner in the NFL. He's absolutely the best. The goal of a business owner is to build something that is successful and makes the most money.
I've been telling y'all.
He has built the most successful, the biggest money maker, and he has brought the whole league up with him. Jerry Jones is the best owner, maybe in the history of sports. Jerry Jones is a shit general manager. He's a great owner. The best. He has no idea how to run a team, but he is awesome at building value in his brand. He's badass at that. Mel Kiper did a mock draft. Oh, wait, Super Chat. Uncle Chill, tell us what you're hearing, OG. What are you hearing? Alf the alien wants to know.
What Joe was hearing. I mean, it's our momentum is building toward Schottenheimer. So defeated. Everybody's so defeated.
Everybody's so defeated. I haven't missed any Super Chats, have I? Have I missed one? Okay. We're rocking and rolling. Mel Kiper did his first mock draft. Mel Kiper's the GOAT. Well, he's the second GOAT. I believe Rick Goslin is the GOAT.
Oh, shout out.
Of mock drafts. Mel is second place.
Good for you.
Back in the day, Goose Goslin used to. Do you hate Goose? I can see you hating Goose, Clarence. Do you hate Rick Goslin?
I don't hate Rick Goslin.
Oh, that's hate.
Oh.
That's a hate tone if I ever heard a hate tone in my life. When you start doing that, I love my family. Thank God.
Goose.
When I started doing draft stuff, I'd talk to Rick Goslin, former fine writer.
Hater.
And he used to be the best mock drafter on the planet by a mile. And I was like, how'd you do it? And he was like, I called the GMs. Yeah. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, back in the day, it's not like it was going to be on the internet and all this. He's like, I got mock drafts right because I asked them who they were going to pick. And they'd ask me, well, who are the other teams going to pick? And I would tell them, and then they'd tell me who they were going to pick. Right. Mel Kiper's the one who made this thing giant, though. Him and his hair.
Great hair.
He has his first mock draft out. Number 1 overall.
Travis Hunter.
Cam Ward, Miami's quarterback. Number 2 overall, Travis Hunter. Number 3 overall to the New York Giants, Shedeur Sanders, which immediately makes the Cowboys the 4th best quarterback in the NFC East.
Whoa.
I'm joking. Shadeur's an okay prospect. He's not a great prospect.
Shrine Bowl.
Number 4, Abdul Carter.
Shrine Bowl.
Huh?
Shrine Bowl.
No, Shrine Bowl's incredible.
I know.
And Shadeur's going to be a top 5 pick.
I know.
I'm just saying, I don't think when he goes to a division rival, you have to go, oh, God, now they've got a better quarterback than us forever. Sure, it might work out. He might be good. Maybe. Number 5, Mason Graham, D-tackle, Michigan. Number 6, Tet McMillan, Arizona, wide receiver. Number 7, Michael Williams, pass rusher, Georgia. Number 8, Jalen Walker, pass rush, Georgia. Number 9, Will Johnson, cornerback, Michigan. Number 10, Will Campbell, offensive lineman, LSU. Number 11, Kelvin Banks, offensive lineman, Texas.
Going to San Francisco.
Yeah. Number 12 is the Dallas Cowboys. Shout out to Captain Thunder. Wanted to throw away $2 more to say Dak sucks.
Oh, Canadian dollars.
Canada dollars? Well, when we make you the 51st state, you're the first one we're deporting. I don't know where we're
I was going to say you're deporting him from his home to elsewhere?
Somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Count your days, brother.
Count your days.
Count your days in Canada. We're getting you up out of there.
We need real money.
We're sending you to Greenland when we buy it, too.
We're sending you to Galveston.
Number 12, Luther Burden III.
Luther.
Wide receiver, Missouri.
What's happening, Luther?
And Mel Kiper even said, yes, it's a mock draft without Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty going to Dallas. I think it's possible the Cowboys will take Jeanty, and there's no arguing they need a boost to the run game. But I imagine they'd try to fix that hole in free agency. And regardless, this team has to find playmakers all over, period. Because it's CD and a bunch of maybes.
Well said.
I'm going to brand that.
Put it on a T-shirt.
Put it on a T-shirt.
We need to find somebody so there's not a bunch of maybes. And Luther Burden would do that. He is super fun. Little Debo. That's what Luther Burden is. Little Debo.
I got a question for you. A lot of mocks have Jalen Walker fallen. Have him late in the first round, second round. I say he has him still in the top 10. What's going on with that?
I had people – so this is a weird thing about the draft. And what I tell people who watch on their own, who actually watch the players and they want to, like, rank them, whatever you see, write it down and don't move it. Because what happens in the draft world is it becomes a massive groupthink. People see somebody else move somebody down and they're like, what do they know? And so they move them down.
Same thing with recruiting, yeah.
Or if it's if it were Mel Kiper. Like, I believe that Mel Kiper watches these guys and has opinions about these guys. His rankings will absolutely change and sometimes drastically. What does that mean? It means he heard something from NFL teams. Like he's hearing from somebody that this is an off-field thing or whatever, or that you're wrong about this guy, or the NFL doesn't feel differently. And people are trying to get where they think they'll get picked. Believe what you see. And Jalen Walker's interesting. He's a Georgia guy that's 6'2", 245. He plays linebacker. He also lines up on the edge and rushes the passer. He is packed in there with muscle, and he is powerful as a freaking bull. And I love his tape.
But
there's an element of tweener where it's like, are you a linebacker? Could I play you at the edge full time? Do I have a plan for you?
I hate the tweener discussion.
And so I could see people being afraid because they don't know what their plan would be.
I think Dane has him down.
Then he is probably hearing from NFL teams that it's more mid to late first than early first. But, I mean, I think he's one of the best players in the draft. It's just a matter of, are you scared of not knowing exactly what he's going to do for you? That's what I think. So believe yourself, okay? Believe in yourself and believe in the Dallas Cowboys because they're on the come with Shoddy soon.
And we might see you later.
And remind everybody, if something happens, we'll be back here today.
We might see you later today.
Might do it from the house. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. We love you. Even you, Captain Thunder. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.
Or else not a threat.
We all silly like the mayor.